people are really close in the blues once you're in that circle. And I felt very privileged to be considered or even associated with those people because they really want to keep the blues alive. I was always taught that no matter what it takes or where you play, keep the blues alive. Whether you funk it up or jazz it up or blues it up, something new for people to hear and listen to as something new. I was really surprised when I had gone on tour in Europe on how much they appreciate the only two true American art forms, which is blues and jazz. As a matter of fact, it's part of the high school curriculum for all the high schools in Europe. And how I found that out, I was on the train and just reading a book, minding my own business, and there were these kids next to me pretty much playing thrash, rock and roll, and pit music. And I had a young man with this big mohawk on and tats and nose rings and stuff like that. And he came up and asked me if I was a musician, and I told him, yeah. And he asked me, well, what do you play? I said, I play the blues. And he goes, oh man, I love the blues. And he started naming all these country blues guys that not even people in the United States knew. Sonny Terry, Brownie McGhee, I think BB was among the list, but it was a very sophisticated list. And I had asked him, I said, where did you hear these names? How do you know these people? And he goes, well, it's part of our curriculum in high school. We have to learn two true American art forms, which is blues and jazz. And that blues is the reason why I'm a musician today. And he goes, I don't play that much of it, but he says, it got me in the right direction. Which is good because everything came from the blues. Everything, American-wise. There's other music out there, but it's more European-oriented. But the blues is true American music, which basically came out of oppression. And there were places and times that you weren't allowed to play blues. So that's how the roadhouses developed in the South, which are different houses where they would play blues, dance, have a great time, and party a little bit. And then like the next weekend, it would be somebody else's place. So nobody could understand exactly where they were always doing this. Congo Square in New Orleans was the only place that slaves could play music one day a week. They weren't allowed to play anywhere else. So even though it's been kind of like neglected or not allowed, it still rose above the barriers that were put up on America's music.